Hello VC. I wasn't planning on shooting a video update today, but the reason I'm going to throw this up now is because today I came upon a very interesting find when I was doing a bit of browsing. Totally unexpected, but it is. Uh, Before I go on, I'm sure everybody watching this will have seen Ben Costello's video update from a couple of weeks ago, where he was showing his Vertigo Swirl finds, which he picked up for an incredible price. So this find, which I came across today, is kind of similar. Now, it cost me slightly more than Ben's. But I think it's definitely worth showing today. So there's a record store in town here, which I occasionally pop into. It's kind of it's like they sell secondhand books and records, and it's run by an elderly gentleman. Now, to be quite honest, it's not the sort of stuff we expect to score anything very exciting. Now, they occasionally, from my experience in the past, they occasionally have interesting stuff, but for the most part, it's kind of easy listening kind of stuff. James Galway, Nana Muscuri, it's kind of stuff you'd expect to find at charity shops, really. But I was in there today. I just popped in just for a quick browse. I noticed there was a guy in there looking through a stack of records, which I hadn't noticed before. This stack of records now wasn't kind of publicly on display. It was kind of hidden away, kind of in a little alcove, and I hadn't noticed this part of this, that they kept records in this part of the store before. But as soon as he went away, I went over and had a look. I was looking through this stack, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I'll just show you. This stack of records, it was full of 60s stuff. There's a whole load of Thin Lizzy stuff, Mott the Hoople. Now, but what I'm about to show you is what really caught my eye. He has a whole stack of Black Sabbath records, including their first four ones. I had a look through them and thought, well, at the best, these are probably, reissues on the Spaceship label. But I looked through the first one, their debut album, Black Sabbath, which I've shown you before. I already have it. So I had a look through it. And what you know? Vertigo Swirl. So with the inner bag and everything, and in very good condition. As you can see, this I think is the same pressing which I already have. It's from what I can figure out, it's the third pressing. So there we go. So as I said, he has. I could see that he had all four of their date of their first four albums. So the second album, as you know, is Paranoid. So I pulled it out of the stack. I can see that it's, the sleeve is a little bit tatty. There's a little bit of ring wear, a bit of damage on the back. Take it out. I take the record out. This is so much like Ben's video update from a couple of weeks ago, isn't it? And what you know, Another Vertigo Swirl. And that's not all. It's a first pressing. Large Swirl. So I'm really excited at this stage, as you can imagine. And one Sabbath, two Sabbaths, three Sabbaths, Masters of Reality, and this is the only Vertigo swirl that is not in a gatefold sleeve. It's got a kind of a pop-up, the top of the sleeve pops up like this, and another Vertigo swirl, and this is the it's a first pressing as well. There we go. And it's the only Vertigo Swirl album that I'm aware of that comes with a black label, as you can see here. And this is, well, this is excellent. This is in excellent condition. There's barely a mark on this. That is just amazing. Now it doesn't have the inner bag, but I mean that's a minor quibble, I think. So. 1, 2, 3, 4 Sabbaths, Volume 4. Their last album on the Vertigo Swirl label, and sleeve is okay, bit of wear. Here we go, another first pressing on the Vertigo Swirl label. And again, it looks excellent. This looks barely played. It is unbelievable. Now, I'll just point out the Paranoid does have a couple of scratches on it. I'll just show you again. There's a couple of, there is a kind of noticeable enough scratch on it, but it looks like it should play okay, I'd say, by the look of it. It looks it looks fine. It's like quite a light scratch, even though it's quite noticeable. It doesn't look like the sort of scratch that would affect play too much. So now I asked the guy, the elderly gentleman, how much, and he said 25 each, so €100. I offered him 70. He wouldn't go for that. I made him several lower offers. He was adamant he wanted 100 for them. So he's a dark horse. He knows they're worth something, but still, I think €25 each for 4 Black Sabbath Vertigo Swirls in that kind of condition is just amazing. For our UK viewers, I think €25 is probably about £20 sterling. I'm not sure what it is in dollars, in US dollars. Could be about $30. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I am very, very pleased with this find. It is just something you do not come across every day, especially in the place where I got them, which is probably the last place. Honestly, if you saw this place and saw the sort of stuff that they have on display openly, it is the last place you'd expect to come across a haul like this. So I'll just I was speaking to Ben Costello and about ringing him on the phone. I had to ring him straight away, tell him about this. I told him I'm putting up a video, but Ben requested that I show my Ashra Temple again, because he's throwing up 2 videos. I put up one video already yesterday, and he's putting up another one tonight of his Krautrock collection. So he requested me to show my Ashra Temple again. I've already shown this on my Crouch Rock video. So Ben, this is for you. I got this from the same buyer as Ben got his copy of Meditation for Electric Guitars by his name escapes me just now, but his name, it's probably on here. Should be on the back here. Manuel Gotching. So then on the ore label, go pink ore. Okay, so Ben, that's for you. I'll briefly show you some of the other records which I've picked up since my last update. I went off after I picked up the four Sabbath records. I realized that I don't have enough plastic sleeves for them, so I went off to another record store where I regularly pick stuff up and got some plastic sleeves. I couldn't resist looking at their new acquisitions. I didn't intend to buy any more records after dropping €100 on that haul, but I noticed they have some Klaus Schulze. I picked up this. I got it for €8. Dune, one of his latter records. It's from I think it's from 1980 or 79. Not sure. This is a German release on the Brain label. There you go. Yeah, love that label, and I just can't get enough of Klaus Schulze, so I had to grab this. Just had to grab it, and it's really interesting sleeve. Actually, it's kind of unusual, kind of mirrored kind of sleeve there. So there we go. Recently I've sold some stuff on eBay. I sold my Led Zeppelin remasters LP, which I showed a couple of months back. I did intend to sell it. Now I just about broke even really, but with the money that I got for it, I couldn't resist temptation, so I went off to my local independent record store and picked up something which I'd been meaning to get for a while. This is Desert Shore, the final report, and this is by, well, basically it's technically speaking it's Throbbing Gristle's last album, but it's not released under the Throbbing Gristle name. It's released under the title TGX, and it now there is a bit of a story behind this. It was conceived by Peter Sleazy Christopherson, who it was his idea to come up with this album to cover this 1970 album by Nico called Desert Shore, to do a kind of it's kind of a reinterpretation. I haven't heard Nico's original, so I don't know how close this is to that, but it's unfortunately Peter Sleazy Christopherson died before the album could be completed, and it was finished off then by Chris Carter and Cozy Fanny Tootie. They brought in some guest performers as well. Anthony of Anthony and the Johnsons appears on this. Also, Mark Almond of Soft Cell. Sasha Grey, who I believe is a former porn actress, also contributes to this. And it is oh yeah, Blix of Bargild as well, from Einsters and Neubauten. Gaspar Noé, who is a French movie director. Okay, so it's it is a double album and comes with a booklet. Beautifully produced. It's beautiful kind of I'm not sure what kind of card or board that they've used for the album sleeve itself, but it's kind of very glossy, kind of white, and kind of barely perceptible. You know, the album title here, you probably can't quite make it out, but it is quite a beautiful piece of work. This packaging I went into it along with this this booklet. That is Peter Christopherson himself, the late Sleazy, as he was nicknamed, and some of the contributors, and we have the notes on the story behind the making of the album. It is a fantastic album. It's in some ways it's quite unlike what you'd expect like from the same group of people who created Slugbait. But by the way, Genesis P-Orridge, the frontman of Throbbing Gristle, wasn't involved in this. He pulled out. He had quite a dispute with the other members, so I think that is the reason why it wasn't released under the Throbbing Gristle name. But yes, it is. I would recommend this highly to anyone, even if you're not a fan of Throbbing Gristle. So yeah, so there we go. That is I was quite pleased to pick that up because I've been looking for it for quite a while. My other another record which I got recently, which I actually got on Discogs, is this. It is Principal Edward's Magic Theatre. Now it is on John Peel's Dandelion label, which is a label which he set up I think in 1969, and it was active for not very long, for a short number of years in the early 70s. I really love that the label, the Dandelion label. Most of the records that were released did not sell very well, including I think this one, so it's quite a collectible label. The best way to describe this album musically is kind of slightly psychedelic kind of music with a folk influence. Now the group themselves were they weren't kind of a conventional band as such. They were kind of a collective. So there's an absolute, I don't know how many people are involved. There's quite a lot of names in the credits. So they didn't really have a kind of a lead vocalist or what have you. In fact, a lot of the the instruments appear to be played by different people on different songs. So it's kind of very much of its time. It has a kind of there is a kind of a certain kind of a charm to it. There's a kind of a shambolicness and a kind of, you know, it's probably an album which probably wouldn't be released today on a major label. Well, I suppose Dandelion wasn't a major label. I mean, it was John Peel set it up specifically for releasing, you know, kind of music like this, which kind of, you know, wouldn't have been considered mainstream. But well, you know, the Dandelion label wasn't a commercial success, but it did leave a legacy of rather interesting music. Now, my next record didn't quite cost as much as the as a Black Sabbath's. As a matter of fact, it's cost me €1 in a charity shop. It is Egberto Gismonti. It is a jazz album on the ECM label. Now, on my last record, I showed you an album on ECM, which was given to me very kindly by Ben Costello. So as soon as I spotted this label, I knew I had to grab it. Especially as it was only for €1. So fantastic bargain. Egberto Gismonti himself, I thought at first he was Italian, but it turns out he's Brazilian. So it's kind of a very much a kind of Latin American kind of influence to this music. It's a compilation album, by the way. Came out in the mid '80s, but the music on it is kind of mostly from the mid '70s onwards. So really enjoy this. I would highly recommend this to anybody if they spot it out there, if they spot anything by Gismonti. And it's thanks to Ben actually for, you know, turning me on to the CM label, because it would appear that it is a label which, you know, really is one to look out for. You know, for if you're into sort of kind of jazz that's, you know, kind of you know, kind of jazz that's a bit kind of progressive or a bit out of the mainstream, you know. So that's everything. So I hope you enjoy this video, and just to let you know that Ben Costello as well will be throwing up another part 2 of his krautrock video, of his krautrock collection. So keep an eye out for that, and thank you very much for watching.